Hey, it's Sam. In this video today I discuss yoga and Vedic astrology. This was recorded in Joshua Tree at Bhakti Fest with my good friend Vidal, a well-known yoga teacher. Check it out. Hey folks, it's Sam, and I'm here at Bhakti Fest with my good friend Vidal, the famous the famous Ayurveda, yoga, and Jyotish instructor. He is the founder of Dancing Shiva.
Yep, Dancing Shiva.
Tell us a little bit about it's a certification program in multidisciplines. I actually have to ask him because he covers so much that I want to make sure that he explains how it is and what it is.
Yeah, basically Dancing Shiva was a center in Hollywood, yoga center, focused on yoga and Ayurveda, and we also included Jyotish in those early years. And about 4 years ago it evolved into a online nonprofit educational organization.
I remember seeing that.
And we're focusing on education, counseling, and certification programs based in yoga and Ayurveda, and we always bring in the perspective of Jyotish, beginning with the yugas and understanding the importance of how collective consciousness evolves and moves, and how that influences the world, and why we're now all suddenly interested in these deeper traditions.
Yeah, that's why I need to have him explain it, because he's quite a Renaissance man here, and we've actually shared several students over the years where a lot of your students have come in and been in my programs and whatnot, and so I saw that it was in person, and I also saw you have this extensive online program, which again, as many of you know, that's also the backbone of my work, is certification programs online where people can learn. And you know, so we really share that kind of thing with technology as well. And so one of the main reasons I also wanted to speak with Mas is because he gave me one of the greatest compliments of my life. No, it's so true, because I gave him a copy of my book, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, right?
Yes.
And you know, this is a man of you know, he really chooses his words wisely. He doesn't just speak things that he doesn't mean. And he sent me an email. It was actually quite succinct. And he just said, "I've been reading your book and it's a remarkable achievement." That's what he said.
Yes.
Those were the words.
That is correct, and I will reiterate that. I truly think that this book is not only a book, it's like a manual for understanding how Vedic astrology can be integrated into our lives. And what I like about it is that it presents the big picture. There's no question that you will have to answer when you're reading this book. It really answers everything for you. And it doesn't assume that you know what nakshatra means, or dasha means, or, you know, grantis, you know, all of these
or
terms.
Astrology.
Yeah, or astrology. So he really explains it in such a complete way, and I really love that. It really presents an integrative, integral model for Jyotish.
Thank you so much.
You know, and that's really important. And it's not just the cerebral science. Sam really brings it down to earth. And ultimately, you know, he mentions this in the book. I mean, the systems are about understanding how we can better operate on this planet, and how light moves through this planet, through karma, through our mind, and the planet. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean, and again, you know, coming from someone as learned and as multidisciplined as Mas, and you know, it's the greatest honor for me as someone who writes a book to have it received by someone like this so well. So, you know, we've spent many times talking about all of these different disciplines, and so he was so, you know, gracious to come and share his views with you about the book. And I also wanted to give him some props too, because I've been watching his videos and courses, and wanted to be able to share what he does also with my audience. So those of you who are into yoga and Ayurveda and you're interested in online programs, you also have a trip to India coming, right?
Yeah, I do an annual trip to India that focuses on both yoga and Ayurveda. So we have a yogic component,
Yeah.
an Ayurvedic component. We're moving it to 2018.
Okay.
We're going to revamp it and bring in some visits to some new areas and some new schools that I'm aligning with. So
These are in India?
it's in India, evolving. So there'll be a northern portion and then a southern Maharashtrian area portion to the course. So we're going to break it up, and we bring in a little bit of Jyotish into that as well. And ultimately, you know, the main thing is that what we really want to do is encourage people to study the greater tradition. It's not just bringing in some fragmented approach. What works about these great traditions is that they look at every aspect of our lives. Even astrology alone won't work for you.
Right.
That's why Ayurveda was connected to astrology, and why Ayurveda was always connected to yoga. Each of those traditions works on the body, works on the mind, and helps us to understand the soul and the karma.
Exactly, and this is what I explained. You know, I did the hangout with Saul over there the other day, the live Facebook, and you know, the way I kind of say it really quickly is yoga is like the you know, the physical practices that literally open up the channels in the body to help us unfold consciousness through movement, breath, so that consciousness evolves. But then Ayurveda are the daily rituals, seasonal rituals that we use, and but then Jyotish is the one that allows us to really understand the karma and why we're here, and actually just understand the nature of the universe and the cosmic order and the universal order. Because when you look in the first chapters of the Jyotish text, Parashara is actually really talking about there are Paramatmans, there are Jiva Atmans, the universe is incarnated as Lord, or you know, Lord Vishnu has descended into the 9 planets to give the beings the fruits of their karmas. So we really understand why we're here, what the timing of our life is, so we don't feel like we're just under the thumb of fate and get into these weird questions like, well, is it my karma, or do I also have free will, and all of these things, so that we understand the nature of life. And then we apply systems like yoga and Ayurveda. I have to tell my astrology students all the time, look, astrology is not going to make you enlightened. It's here to help you understand the nature of your life, but then you need to do yoga. You need to meditate. And you need to turn to great healers like this guy, because he's got great stuff. And you're in Ojai, right? And you do in-person classes there and in Southern California, or is it mainly online?
Mainly online, and whatever city I'm traveling in. Okay. I mean, I do a lot of counseling in Santa Barbara, Ventura, LA, a little bit now in San Diego, and wherever I'm traveling, I do.
And people can get a hold of you from the DancingShiva.com? Yeah,
DancingShiva.com.
DancingShiva.com. If you want to be in touch with him and see his courses, I recommend you do it for sure. It's been fantastic to share this time with you. I'm so glad we got to do this, buddy.
Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. Namah Shivaya from Bhakti Fest.
Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya.